Hey everyone, Justin here, and I just wanted to let you guys all know this is my last video. I'm taking off for the summer, and when the studio is opening up again, I'll be back in the fall, and I'll probably be coming in and subbing here and there. So if you guys are interested in getting some more classes with me, I just encourage you to check out my videos on YouTube on the Alchemy channel. And also, if you want to reach out to me on my website, I do offer Reiki sessions in person and distance. You can check out my books and message me there, email me. Um, and yeah, I will look forward to seeing you guys again in a few months. So we're going to meet at the top of our mats, feet together, closing down the eyes, finding length through the spine, grounding down into the earth, and then bringing your hands into heart center, setting an intention for your practice for your day. And as you inhale, fingertips reach up to the sky, interlacing the fingertips, stretching up. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, lifting up. Interlace and stretch up. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, reaching up. Interlace and stretch, finding length through the elbows. Opening the upper back. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, lifting up. Interlace and stretch up. And as you exhale, bending over to the right hand side, straight through the elbows, hips towards the sidewall, arcing through the body. Inhaling back to center, and then exhaling over to the opposite side, reaching and stretching through the arms, hips to the side wall. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, slight bend through the knees, reaching the hands up, interlacing the fingertips, stretching up and back, opening through the chest. As you exhale, hands come down and around, straightening through the knees, hands out in front. Inhale, hands out to the sides, and then up overhead, interlace and stretch up. Exhale, hands come down in front, and then out to the sides. Inhale, hands in front, and then up overhead, interlace and stretch up. Exhale, hands come down to your sides. Inhale, lifting up, interlace and stretch. As you exhale, bending at the waist 90 degrees, reaching through the palms to the front of your mat, hips towards the back wall, long and strong through your spine. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, reaching up. Interlace and stretch up. Exhale, folding forward, crown to the earth, coming all the way down. Bending through the knees as much as you need to release tension in your lower back. Just allowing the head to hang heavy here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Interlacing the fingers, rising all the way back to standing, elbows with your ears. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, lifting up. Interlace and stretch up. Exhale, sinking back into your chair, Utkatasana, bending through the knees, hips behind you and down towards the ground, reaching up through the hands. For 3, 2, And 1, rising back to stand. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, coming up onto your tippy toes, thumbs come together to touch, coming into palm tree pose. Exhale, hands and feet come down. Inhale, reaching the arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, diving forward, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, length through the spine. Exhale, planting the palms, stepping the feet back. Coming into a high plank, shoulder stack over wrist, pushing back through your heels, engaging your core, engaging your shoulders. As you exhale, lowering down. Inhale, peeling open through the chest, lifting through the heart. Cobra or upward facing dog, yogi's choice. And as you exhale, rolling the hips back, downward facing dog. Option to pedal out the feet here, taking a few breaths, whatever feels good for you. And on your next inhale, right leg reaches up to the sky. As you exhale, stepping it through, rising up for crescent lunge. Energy through your fingertips. Stacking that front knee over your front ankle, reaching back through that heel. And then as you exhale, left hand comes down to the inner edge of that right foot. Right hand goes up to the sky, opening through the chest. And then as you inhale, windmilling the hands here, pivoting that back foot down, rising up into warrior 2. Inhale, peeling the front arm up and back, coming into reverse warrior, opening through the rib cage here, maintaining that bend in your front knee. And then as you exhale, bringing that arm down to your thigh, left fingertips open to the front of your mat, coming into extended side angle. Option to bring that hand down to your mat or to a block. Option to take the fuller half bind here if that feels good for you. Inhale, rising up back to stand, straightening that front leg. Left hips come back, right fingertips come forward, and then dropping that right hand down, left hand reaches up towards the sky, opening the chest, coming into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Inhale, coming back up to stand, pivoting those toes towards the long side edge of your mat, reaching the hands up towards the sky. And as you exhale, bending at the waist, folding forward, crown to the earth. You can bring your hands beneath your shoulders or out towards your feet, just listening to your body and doing what feels good for you. And just allowing yourself to find complete relaxation here through the back side body, the legs, the back, the spine. Inhale, rising back to stand. As you exhale, right toes pivot towards the front edge of your mat, bringing that left knee down, coming into a low lunge. Option to have hands on blocks on your thigh or up towards the sky, just doing what feels best for you. And then bringing your hands down to frame that front foot, walking the right toes out. So they're pointing out at 45 degrees and just sinking into the hips here. Option to roll onto the outer edge of that right foot. Option to bring your forearms down to the mat if you have the space in your body. And just breathing deep into the hips here. On your next inhale, grounding through the palms, curling your back toes under, stepping your front foot back, coming into downward facing dog. Option to cycle through Vinyasa here, lowering down on an exhale as you inhale, lifting through the heart, and then sending it back. Downward facing dog or child's pose, yogi's choice. Taking a few breaths here, just allowing yourself to reconnect to your mat. And on your next inhale, left leg reaches up. As you exhale, stepping it through, rising up for crescent lunge on the opposite side. Reaching those fingertips up towards the sky, finding a nice deep bend in your front knee. On your next exhale, right hand comes down, left fingertips reach up. As you inhale, windmilling the arms, pivoting that back foot down, grounding the knife edge of your foot into the mat, opening up for warrior two. As you inhale, lifting that left hand up and back, coming into reverse warrior. Exhale, forearm comes to your thigh, right fingertips open to the front edge of your mat. Option to bring your hand down to a block or your mat. Option to take the full or half bind here if that's part of your practice. Inhale, rising back to stand, straightening that front leg. Right hip goes back, left fingertips come forward, and then left hand drops down, right hand reaches up. Opening through the heart here. Trikonasana. Inhale, rising up to stand. Toes pivot towards the long side edge of your mat. Clasping your hands behind your lower back. As you inhale, lifting through the heart. And as you exhale, diving forward, crown towards the earth. Option to release the hands here, just bring them down to your mat if that feels better for you. Just listening to your body, your practice. Inhale, rising back to stand, releasing the palms. Left toes pivot forward, right knee comes down. Coming into a low lunge. And then bringing your hands down to frame that front foot, walking the left toes out 45 degrees. Option to come down to your forearms. Option to roll onto the outside edge of that left foot. Just listening to your body and doing what feels good for you. On your next inhale, grounding through the palms, curling those back toes under, stepping your front foot back, downward facing dog. Option to cycle through Vinyasa here, stacking the shoulders, lowering down on an exhale. As you inhale, lifting through the heart, opening the chest, and then sending those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And we're just going to take our knees wide here for a nice child's pose. Finding some rest, finding some relaxation for a few breaths. On your next inhale, coming back up into downward dog. And then hopping or stepping your feet forward to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, folding forward. Inhale, reaching and rising all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Closing down the eyes here and just taking a few breaths, allowing yourself to ground down through your feet into your mat. On your next inhale, reaching the hands up to the sky. As you exhale, dropping the left palm as if you were carrying a tray, reaching for the inside edge of your left foot. Maybe this is where you stay. Option to move deeper, kicking that foot back, bringing those fingertips forward, coming into dancer's pose. On your next inhale, rising back to stand. As you exhale, hand and foot come down. Inhale, reaching the fingertips up. Exhale, right hand comes down, reaching for the inner edge of that right foot. Kicking that foot back, reaching those fingertips forward. Stretching through the quad, through the hips, through the shoulders, the arms. Inhale, rising back to stand. Exhale, hand and foot come down. From here, we're going to bring our feet wide to the outside edges of our mat. Toes point out, sinking deep into the hips, coming into Yogi Squat Malasana. Bringing the elbows to the inside edges of the thighs. Finding length through the spine, sinking through the hips. On your next inhale, coming up into a halfway lift, walking the feet together to about a shoulder distance apart. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, reaching and rising all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, diving down, crown to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, planting the palms, stepping the feet back, lowering down here. Inhale, peeling open through the chest, cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips come back, downward facing dog. Coming down to your knees, coming down to your belly. Option to stack your forehead on palms or bringing a cheek to the mat. Whatever variation feels best for you. And then reaching your hands out in front of you as if you were Superman flying through the air. On your next inhale, lifting through the heart, opening the chest. Option to lift the legs here. For 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, lowering down. If you were at a cheek to the mat, just switching sides to balance out your neck. And then clasping your palms behind your lower back. As you inhale, zipping the legs together to touch, reaching the hands back, opening through the heart. Optional, lift the legs, lifting through the chest, opening the collarbones for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, releasing down. And then bending through both knees, reaching for the outside edges of your feet with your hands, preparing for bow pose. Knees are about hip distance apart. And on your next inhale, kicking back through the feet, lifting open through the chest, lifting through the heart space for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently releasing down. And then from here, grounding the palms beneath the shoulders, coming back on into a tabletop, and then swinging the legs out in front. We're going to bring our right foot out, sole of the left foot comes in, squaring the upper body, and as you inhale, lifting through the hands, and as you exhale, reaching for the toes, for the shins, for the thighs, whatever is accessible for you. And just allowing yourself to draw your attention and awareness inward here. On your next inhale, rising up to seated, switching sides, left foot comes out, right foot comes in. Reaching up to the fingertips, and as you exhale, folding forward, reaching for the toes, the shins, the thigh. Just allowing yourself to stretch the entire backside body through the legs, the lower back, shoulders, upper back, arms. On your next inhale, rising up to seated, bringing both legs together to touch, scooching your sit bones back. Inhale, lifting through the palms. Exhale, folding forward, reaching for your toes, for your shins, for your thighs, bending through the knees as much as you need to release tension in your lower back. Option is a belt or a strap here if you're at home. On your next inhale, releasing the feet, coming up to seated, and then lying down on your back, preparing for bridge pose. Soles of the feet are about hip distance apart, with the ability to graze the back edges of your heels with the tips of your fingers. As you inhale, lifting the hips, grounding the heels, option to clasp the palms, rolling shoulder blades under, lifting the chest up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, gently lowering back down to the mat. From here, we're going to cross our right ankle over our left thigh, coming into a figure four. Option to stay here. Option to reach behind that left thigh or left shin, depending on your flexibility. Flexing those right toes up towards the sky to protect your knee joint. And just allowing yourself to relax here, breathing deep into the hips. On your next exhale, releasing the feet down. Switching sides, left ankle crosses over right thigh. Option to stay here. Option to move deeper based on your flexibility. Gently releasing the feet down. Bringing the soles of the feet together to touch. Opening the hips, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. On your next inhale, gently drawing the legs back together to touch. Squeezing your knees in towards your chest, and then rolling the legs over to the right hand side, coming into a supine twist. Grounding both shoulders down into the mat. Reaching out to those left fingertips. Option to gaze over your left shoulder if that feels good for you. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, twisting over to the opposite side. Inhaling back to center. And then reaching for the outside edges of your feet, coming into happy baby. Option to straighten the legs, option to rock and roll side to side, whatever feels best for you. And then when you're ready, bringing the legs down out in front, toes splay open to the sides, palms of the hands reach up towards the sky. Inhale, filling the lungs all the way to full. Exhale, releasing it out the mouth. One more big breath in, filling the lungs all the way to full. Exhale, letting it go. And just allowing yourself to find complete relaxation and surrender here. Gently bringing attention and awareness back to your body. Finding slight movement through your fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. And then giving yourself a nice good morning stretch. Rolling over onto your right hand side, coming into the fetal position. And then rising up to meet in a comfortable seat. Rooting down through the sit bones, finding length through your spine, closing down the eyes, and connecting with your breath. And then bringing your hands together at heart center and just remembering the intention you set today. It's beginning of practice. And then bringing your hands up to your third eye, bowing to the light within. Namaste. Thank you guys all so much for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful summer, and I will see you all again soon.